um, especially last names. Last names that you don't hear all the time. And it's a common thing that happens to us and other folks back home because folks aren't used to these names. Now, take our last name, for instance, Toonai. It's spelled Tooni. Now, when you see that on paper, your first thought is Toonie, right? Okay, all right, so that's nothing new. Or, Toon, or, things like that. And you get a lot of this, especially with folks who work at the hospital. The hospital pharmacists have the toughest job because they have to pronounce our names. All right, so we have our name, Toonai or Toonie, and then you have other names like Kalonaheski. And if you see that on paper, you're liable to stumble. Kalonheski, and that in itself is a genuine Cherokee name. And to pronounce it right is Kalonheski. And that translates into a trickster. And that is a statement saying, I fooled you. That's a family name. Then there's another name called Lossie. And Lossie translates into it went by. It just went by. Lossie. And it's spelled Lossiah. When you read that on paper, you think of Losiah, not Lossie. And then you have other names like Tisateski. We say Disateski, which means they swing their arms all the time. They're always swinging their arms. So these are names that we have, your family names, and a long time ago, you would get these names by your personality. So if there was a person, that swung their arms all the time, that's what they would call them. That would be their name, Disateski. Now, our last name, Toonai, is Dunai, which translates into they have something in their hand. It could be beads, money, pins, anything that can fit in your hand. That's what our last name means. And then you have, of course, driver, which is easy. But if you're saying it in the language, Diyelegin. And that's how you say driver in our language. So, it makes me think about the question that Juliet asked when she said, what's in a name? There's a lot to a name. Especially in our culture. So that's a little bit on names there. Now let's talk about some sports here. Now, our big sport is stickball. How many of you know what stickball is? Okay, all right. If you don't know what stickball is, it's what came before lacrosse. Our folks back home dress only in a pair of shorts, gym shorts. No pads, no mouth guard, no helmets. Just a pair of shorts and your ball sticks. Your ball sticks can be about 12 inches long or so. And the ball is about that big around. And it's made out of deer hair and leather. Now this game was used as a training tool for hand-to-hand combat, but it was also a way to prevent or settle disputes. So whenever we say we went to war, that could mean that we had this ball game instead of just going out and killing people. So that was what this game was for. Now the game originated with the birds and animals. The birds and animals had a big dispute over who was superior. Birds were saying we're superior because we can fly. Some of us can fly so high up in the sky that we can see miles and miles out over the ridges and see danger coming, and you wouldn't. Well, the animals said, no, we're fast, we're strong, nothing can beat us. We got some fierce warriors. Well, they couldn't decide on who was best, so they decided to have this game. Well, Bear, he was the captain of the four-legged, the animals, and he went off and they were getting prepared. Eagle was the captain for the birds, and they went up and was getting prepared. Now, there were two little animals that heard about this game, and they wanted to play. So they go to Bear's team. They go up to him, pull on his fur. Bear, we heard about the game and we want to play. Bear looks down and shakes his head and says, what can you do? Look at you. You're not strong, you're not fast. You're better off being the ball than actually playing the game. No, go on. I need folks like Turtle. You see Turtle over there? Now, that's a player. His shell is so hard and so thick that he can crush those birds if they try to come near him. Look at Deer over there. He's got his antlers for protection and he's fast. You can't do anything. No, it don't need you. Go on. But Bear, I said go on. Boom! And he swats those animals way out. And they fall and they roll and they hit a tree. Well, it just so happens that tree was where the birds were having their council. They look up there and they decide, well, we can try. They climb up and they say, Eagle, we heard about the game and we want to play. Can we be on your team? Well, Eagle looks at him and he says, but you're a four-legged. Shouldn't you be over on Bear's team? Well, we tried that, but he said we were better off being the ball than actually playing. But we really want to play. Eagle, he looks at them too, and he says, all right, you can play with us, but you're going to need wings. So he tells Hawk to go out and find some leather. Hawk goes out, and he comes back with some leather. It ain't much. And he says, all right. Eagle calls the first one over. He said, all right, you stand right here. You stretch your arms out as far as you can. Little animal did, and they took that leather and they sewed it to the sides of his arms and to his side. After they was finished, that little old animal, which now is the bat, said, how is this going to work? Eagle said, one way to find out. Boom! Pushes him out of the tree. He starts flapping his wings, and he finally gets flight there, and he starts bouncing around in the air and swoops up and hits back in the tree. He says, all right, you're ready. Boy, that other animal, he said, oh, me next. Eagle looks at him and he says, Hawk, is there any more leather? Hawk says, no, that was it. That's all I could find. Well, they're going to have to do something different with this animal. So they sit there and they think, and they finally get an idea. He said, all right, you stand right here. Stretch your legs and your arms out as far as you can. That little animal did. He said, Hawk, you get on this side and I'll get on this side. And we're going to pull the sides of his skin out. And we're going to stretch it out. I said, all right. So Hawk and Eagle, they get on either side of that animal and start pulling his skin. Boy, that little animal went through so much pain to play this game. But finally, they stretched it out enough to where it wouldn't go back in. So there this little animal sitting there, flaps of skin hanging out underneath his arms, and he's saying, how's this going to work? One way to find out. Boom! Boom! Air finally hits those flaps of skin. There he is soaring around. And he hits back in the tree. He becomes the flying squirrel. Eagle looks at him approvingly, says, all right, you're ready. So they get ready. And finally, the day of the game comes. Oh, boy, let me tell you, it was something. Here they come in a big field. In this way. Birds coming in this way. They lined up in the middle. Old Rabbit, he had that old ball. He gets it. He throws it up, and the game's on. Boom! Bear gets it. He starts running this way. Here comes Eagle. Eagle gets it. Swoops in, takes the ball, goes through this way. Passes it over to Hawk. Hawk throws it over to Robin. Boom! There goes a point. Bear, looking around, said, you just got lucky. All right, they line back up again. Here it comes. Ball thrown up in the air. Here comes Eagle. Eagle swoops in, gets it, throws it over to Flying Squirrel. Flying Squirrel over to bat. Boom, there goes another point. All right, come on, let's get in this game. Line back up again, here they go. Ball throws up in the air, they go at it again, back and forth. Bear scores a point, they come back, line up again, they go back and forth again, here it comes back, flies over and he gets his point, lines up again. It goes on and on and on and on and on, until finally, they were tied up. It was 11-11, you got 12 points in this game. So, this is the game changer right here. Boy Bear has his teammates over here huddled. We got to do something. We can't let them win. Oh, Rabbit, he kind of sneaks in. He says, Bear, put in skunk. And they're looking at each other and said, all right, yeah. Put in skunk, all right, he'll be center man. They do. There goes skunk. He's waddling out that way. And they get ready. Boy, them birds that... All right, come on. Here we go. Ball gets thrown up. There it goes. Old deer gets it. He tosses it over to skunk. Skunk, he's got that ball in his mouth and he's waddling down there. None of them birds want anything to do with skunk. Oh, he's almost to that post. Eagle saying, somebody get him. No, I don't want to be sprayed. Oh, Buzzard, he said, I'll go get him. Buzzard comes in, he starts flying down, and he gets old skunk by the fur on his back. But he gets sprayed. As soon as he gets sprayed, he scrapes old skunk's back, and 2 stripes formed down his back, and that's why he's got that today. But that made old skunk drop that ball. Oh, here comes old Hawk. He gets that ball and he flies, he swoops over and throws it over to Bat. Bat throws it over, flying squirrel flies it over to Eagle. They going back and forth, swooping under deer, swooping under and over turtle. Boom! There's that point. A winning point. And it was decided from then and there that the birds were superior in all ways than the animals. Boy Bear, he just could not wrap his mind around the fact that he got beat. He was sure of victory. And he says to Eagle, he says, we had that one. How did you do it? Eagle, he laughs a little bit and he says, you see them 2 animals over there? Bear says, yeah, they look familiar. Oh, Eagle, he says, those are the 2 you wouldn't let play on your team. Boy Bear, he couldn't believe it. They won that game for them. Eagle said, because you let them not play with you, they went over and asked us, and we let them, and they won it. And that teaches us that we should not underestimate or overestimate anybody in stature. Because, the biggest things come out of the smallest packages. And that was our big game of the birds and animals.